You are offered a new job, better salary, a higher position, big opportunities. But there is one problem. It's in another city, far from your family, your friends, your routine. Part of you wants it badly. The other part whispers, don't give up what you already have. And just like that, you are stuck, frozen in a real contradiction. Now wait, what if I told you that you don't have to choose between A or B? That there is a way of thinking that doesn't erase contradictions, but actually uses them to help you move forward. That is called dialectical thinking. And today I'm going to show you how it works, not in theory, in real life.
What is dialectical thinking and where does it come from?
Let's start with the basics. Dialectical thinking isn't some trendy coaching idea. It's been around for more than 2,000 years. Back in ancient Greece, Socrates and Plato used dialogue to search for truth. They didn't impose ideas, they challenged viewpoints and refined arguments through questions. But in the 19th century, German philosopher Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel formalized the dialectical process with three components: thesis, an initial position; antithesis, the contradiction of that position; and synthesis, a new idea that emerged from the tension between the two. It's not about choosing one option over another. It's about understanding the tension and resolving it with a richer, more thoughtful solution.
Why did Hegel become interested in dialectics?
Hegel was born in 1770 and lived through the shockwaves of the French Revolution, the fall of monarchies, Napoleon's rise, and the birth of industrial capitalism. It was a time when the old structures of the world were collapsing and new ideas about freedom, citizenship, the state, and economics were clashing everywhere. This world in flux led Hegel to ask, how does history move? How does human consciousness evolve? What force drives the development of ideas and institutions? In that context, Hegel wasn't looking for fixed truths. He wanted a logic capable of explaining how really changes, why ideas, institutions, and history evolve through internal contradictions that don't destroy but drive development. Against both abstract rationalism and shallow empiricism, he proposed a deeper vision. Reality moves through tensions, and these are resolved in new synthesis. For Hegel, dialectics wasn't a debate tool, it was the fundamental structure of thought, the world, and time.
How do you apply dialectics?
Let me break it down and show you how to actually think dialectically. Oh, and if you find this useful, don't forget to follow. Let's go back to the job dilemma. A simplistic view would say, either take the job and walk away from everything, or stay and miss the opportunity. But dialectical thinking says, don't decide just yet. Look deeper into the tension. What does that job really mean to you? What's the fear behind staying where you are? Is there a way to grow professionally without cutting off your personal ties? That's where the synthesis appears. Maybe you negotiate the trial period, propose a hybrid work arrangement, build a strategy to stay socially connected while transitioning. The same approach works for relationships, finances, or life changes. It's not about black or white, it's asking what new color could emerge if I mix both. And that's the strength of dialectics, creating a third path.
Real-world examples where dialectical thinking helps.
I want to save money, but I also want to travel. Dialectic doesn't say pick one. It says Create a system where both goals can coexist. Maybe you travel more consciously or take local trips while building your savings. I want independence, but I don't want to be alone. That's not a contradiction, that's human complexity. The key is to name both desires and create a new way to relate to yourself and others. I want to stay in this country, but I'm getting more and more frustrated. Maybe the issue isn't about staying or living, but about transforming your role where you are. Understand this. Dialectical thinking doesn't give you instant answers, but gives you better questions.
Guide to apply dialectics.
Okay, I will give you a practical guide. First, recognize the tension. Don't hide it or ignore it. If something's stirring you inside, pay attention. Second, listen to both sides. Each voice has something valuable, your rational side and your emotional side. Third, ask about the synthesis. What are you missing because you are trapped in either or thinking? Fourth, don't decide from fear. Dialectics isn't about escaping conflict, it's about growing through it.
Conclusion.
So what happened with that job offer? Dialectical thinking doesn't force you to choose between moving forward or holding back. It invites you to build a path from the tension itself. Maybe you accept, but ask for flexibility. Maybe you design a gradual transition plan. Or maybe you say no for now, but leave the door open for a future change. The key is not to freeze between two poles. Create a third space. That's not indecision. That's emotional intelligence. That's personal strategy. That's evolution. Life isn't binary. There's always a third option. What did you learn from this episode? Okay. Contradiction is not the enemy. It's the starting point. Dialectical thinking helps you choose without betraying yourself. And last but not least, the best answers rarely live at the extremes. They live in the synthesis. Next time you feel stuck between two options, remember, you are not forced to choose, you are called to create. I'm Gus Pérez, this is the State Machine.